We'll see when people start coming in. Mm. Here they come. Hey, thank you for joining. We're going to let a few more people join before we get started this morning. Yes, I want to play my music. Hold on. I'm going to stop sharing and go back to sharing again. Hold on.
Set the ambiance. It's nice.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. Uh, uh, yeah. Now it won't let me do it, so I'll just have to share. I don't know why it does that. Uh, yeah, 25 people registered. I don't know where they're all at. I sent the reminder out this morning. So,
Yeah, sometimes you have some stragglers.
yeah, a lot of people are on their way driving in and things like that. Mm. Mm. Oh, yeah, here comes more. Oh, she was in and out. Hey, good morning, everyone. We're waiting for a few more people to join us before we get started. Today's impact hour is on using AI for your business. So we'll get started here momentarily. Hey, what, Samuel? I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'll just let people are starting to show up now. So, hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Mark Parham. I'm Director of Entrepreneurship for the Urban League of Greater Atlanta. And today we have our Impact Hour. I have Samuel Scott here to talk about AI for your small business. People are showing up. I'll be letting them in, Samuel, but I'm gonna go dark and I'm gonna stop sharing, and you can start sharing your screen. And people are starting to show up now. I'll let them in as they get in.
Cool. Sounds good. Awesome.
Yep, I'll go dark.
Cool. Thank you for that, Mark. Appreciate that. Awesome. So yeah, got my screen up. Hopefully everybody can see it. If you guys can't see it, please just say something in the chat, and I'll make
Yeah,
sure to.
I can see it.
Awesome. Perfect. Yeah. So good morning, everybody. My name is Sam Scott. I'm the founder of Agility Automations. Agility Automations is a software development company focused on helping local businesses implement AI. And this is a masterclass brought to you by the Urban League of Greater Atlanta on AI agents and how to use AI for your business to drive revenue and operational efficiency. So just to get started, there is currently a shift going on in the AI industry. It tends to evolve pretty exponentially. So you'll tend to find there's new breakthroughs in the AI industry every couple months. And right now, what's happening is AI is transitioning from AI chatbots, where you ask a question and the AI gives you an answer, to AI agents, which you give a task or a goal, and it takes actions to achieve that goal. So an AI agent comes with three components. Um, the first thing is a goal, right? So you're telling it what you need accomplished or what its purpose is. This could be anything from researching topics in your industry, like the fitness industry, creating an Instagram post about those topics that it researched, or even answering the phone and booking appointments straight to your calendar when leads call. So these are all things that the AI can work to achieve. You give it those goals, and it's able to figure out how to achieve those. The way that it figures out how to achieve these goals is utilizing the AI model. So the AI model takes the goal that it's given, figures out what steps it needs to actually achieve that goal, and then it's able to take action by accessing certain tools like Calendly for booking, or using internet search for research, or even just directly posting to Instagram, and it's able to access these tools in order to work to achieve those goals. So that's the really big difference between an AI chatbot and an AI agent. Is the chatbot, you ask it a question, it gives you an answer, and the AI agent is able to actually take action to resolve your problem. So yeah, so that's what's creating the big shift right now. So the result is software is going from automating tasks to automating entire jobs and functions and processes, which means now a three-person team can operate with the leverage of a 30-person team. So there's two different ways that I like to think about AI agents, especially in a business context. So you have the front of the house agents, which are like your customer facing agents. You can think like a receptionist that answers questions and books appointments, a email agent that monitors your inbox and looks for support inquiries and responds immediately, maybe a retail agent that asks your customers consultative sales questions and then recommends the perfect product or service for their needs. This is kind of how I like to think about front of the house agents. And then with back office agents, what you have is you might have agents handling repetitive workflows that can be tedious, or maybe you spend 10 hours a week on. What this can look like is agents that research topics for content, generating creatives and actually creating that content and posting it directly to social media platforms, answering questions about company processes so employees don't need to escalate to a manager every time they have a question. And it can even create custom dashboards to quickly display, important key KPIs to decision makers. So we're going to dive a little deeper into the front of the house agents. So these are, the ones that are more so interacting with your customers. So we all know, I'm sure most people here have heard that speed to lead is important. Let's say a lead calls you from your Google business profile, looking to book a service call, and you missed the call because you were giving an estimate on a job, or you forgot to send that follow-up email because you genuinely just got too busy. As a business owner, typically there are a million things that you might be juggling at any one time, and hopefully a million customers to actually take care of when things are working right. And that's where AI can really help. To assist. So I'd like to introduce you guys to a currently live AI agent. We call her Melanie. So Melanie is an AI receptionist at Squeegee Squad. And Squeegee Squad is a local window washing company. Her job is specifically to answer calls, gather the contact information from the caller, including the email address, phone number, customer's address, and then schedule an appointment directly to the calendar, which in this case, Squeegee Squad uses Calendly. This is a real call that I'm about to show you guys, and this is a conversation she had with a customer. The personal information is muffled out, so please excuse that. Yeah, let me know if you guys can hear this.
I can't hear it.
Okay. No problem. Give me 1 second. I'll play on.
You may have to unshare, then share again, and then click share sound over there on the right-hand side.
Okay. No worries. I'm just gonna play it right.
Google Ads. Thank you for calling Squeegee Squad. Melanie speaking. How can I help you today?
Can you guys hear it?
I'm looking for an estimate on
Yeah, I can.
cleaning.
Absolutely. I'd love to help you get that set up. Is this for a residential property or a commercial building?
Residential.
Great. And can I get your full name to start?
Charles.
Nice to meet you, Charles. And is this your first time using Squeegee Squad, or have you worked with us before?
Worked with you before.
Wonderful. Welcome back. Can you confirm your service address for me? Got it. And can you confirm the best phone number and email address we have on file for you? Perfect. Thank you, Charles. So I'll get you scheduled for a gutter cleaning estimate so our team can come out, review the property, and give you an exact price. What's a good day and time for you?
As soon as possible.
Let me check what we have available for you. Great news. I have some openings this week. The earliest I have is Monday, June 8th at 3:30 p.m., then Tuesday, June 9th at 9:30 a.m. or 10 a.m. Do any of those work for you?
Monday, today.
Monday at 3:30 p.m. works perfectly. Let me read that back before I get this locked in. I have Charles B., phone number 4, email Charles, service address, gutter cleaning estimate on Monday, June 8th at 3:30 p.m. Does everything sound correct?
Yes.
Perfect. Let me get that booked for you right now. You're all set, Charles. Your gutter cleaning estimate is confirmed for Monday, June 8th at 3:30 p.m. A confirmation email has been sent to your Gmail. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Nope, that's it.
Wonderful. We'll see you Monday. Thanks for calling Squeegee Squad. Have a great day.
Yeah, so that was actually a live call with with Melanie and a customer that was looking to book an estimate. So what just happened there was Melanie answered an inbound call, discovered what the customer needed, which in this case was gutter cleaning. She gathered the contact information from the customer. Then she checked the calendar first for availability. And then after confirming a good time with the customer, she booked it directly to Squeegee Squad's calendar. And the result is Squeegee Squad just has to focus on cleaning windows, and Melanie just handles the calls and books the appointments directly. So the next type of agents we're going to look at are the back office agents. So these are the agents that actually run things, more so behind the scenes as opposed to interacting directly with your customers.
Hey, Samuel, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Does the AI agent you just have, do you have to do you have to put in the prompts for the question that it's asking, or how does it know how to respond to the responses that they give?
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's a great question, Mark. So there's a couple of different components in how the agent's able to respond. So one of the first things you would do is you give it a knowledge base. So
A knowledge base, okay.
yeah, so when answering specific questions about jobs and how to handle certain things, the AI agent can pull from the knowledge base, and that knowledge base could be information from your website. Maybe it's SOPs that you have, or just a frequently asked questions document. And you provide these to the knowledge base of the agent, and the agent's able to reference this knowledge base, kind of like how an employee would reference an employee handbook when interacting with customers, so it knows exactly how to handle different situations. So the knowledge base you can kind of think of as long-term memory, and it kind of getting a little deep into the architecture of agents now. But think about the knowledge base as the agent's long-term memory, and then you have the shorter-term working memory, which is more like the prompt. And the prompt is that goal, those instructions. Hey, Melanie, when somebody calls in, gather the contact information, book the appointment, and that's more so, where she focuses on the task. So you have the shorter term memory, which is the prompt and the instructions and the goal, and then you have the longer term memory, which is the processes, how to handle questions and how to actually answer what the customer is asking for.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. So the next type of agents we're going to look at for the back office agents, and one of my favorite ones is the content agents. So the content agents, backing up a little bit. So when it comes to figuring out what type of back office agents you should go with, I like to think about what tasks are you or your staff spending 10 or more hours a week on. These are the tasks that are repetitive work, that maintains your business, that needs to be done, but it takes away from the time you need to actually focus on what can actually grow your business. That's the type of things that tend to be perfect for a back office agent to handle. So one of my personal favorites types of back office agents is the content agent. And the thing about the content agent is, in 2026, a lot of business owners, everybody's always talking about you need to be on social media, you need to have a social media presence. And usually the biggest thing holding people back is either creating and posting the content or creating and posting the content consistently. And that's where a content agent can really help with that. Instead of having to spend time, every 3 to 5 days, posting a single piece of content every single day, what the content agent can do is it can actually research topics, create the copy, create the creative, and then actually post it directly. So you don't actually have to think, did I post that piece of content? Or, it takes it off your plate so you can handle it. So this is kind of how a content agent would work. So it's actually a multi-agent system. And what a multi-agent system is there are multiple different agents working together to achieve a goal. So in the context of the content agent, you might have, say, a research agent first. It all starts with the research agent. So the research agent might research trending topics, look up keywords, relative, specific for your niche, things that people are searching, questions that people are asking. And these tend to be, great topics for pieces of content. So the research agent will use a tool like web search in order to search what's most relevant. And then it'll take those topics and pass them on to the second agent, which will be a writing agent. That writing agent will draft the copy or create the caption for the piece of content that's being created, depending on what the platform is. It'll tailor that piece of that copy towards the platform to make sure it actually fits well with the platform that it's being posted on. And then it passes that topic and that content piece to the design agent, which then calls, say, an image creation model like GPT Image 2, which is a pretty good one. And it designs like a graphic or a thumbnail image to match that piece of content that the writer agent wrote. Finally, now you have the topic, the copy, and the creative. The final agent just publishes it directly, either to a website blog or to Instagram, LinkedIn. It even sends out emails if you want to blast a newsletter to some of your email list. So it's really good because it can take that off your plate. And what this looks like is a steady stream of consistent content that can attract impressions on search or social, all handled for you. So you don't have to actually worry about posting and creating that content. So this is an example of a live blog for a local tax advisor, Bottom Line Taxes. They've had an agent creating content for them for several months now. And basically it's just completely hands off. The agent researches topics that are relevant at that time for the tax season. It creates the copy, creates the blog post, make sure to put in some keywords and a little bit of SEO in the blog post as well for discoverability, creates a matching thumbnail, and then it publishes it directly to the Bottom Line Taxes website every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that's really just the tip of the iceberg on what processes can be automated with AI. I mean, it's the way I like to think about it is if it can be handled by a computer, where we're going, AI will probably be able to handle it. Yeah. So how do you actually get started utilizing AI agents? There's a lot of information out there. Things are moving very quick. So sometimes the platform that might be really good today might be a little bit obsolete tomorrow. That's kind of exciting in my opinion, because things are moving very fast. So you don't have to be technical in order to start building AI agents. Although if you are technical, one of the best ways to build custom agents for your needs is something like an agent SDK. So an agent SDK is something, it's a framework put out by OpenAI, Google Gemini. I believe Claude might have one as well. And it's just a framework for how to set up agents, how to give them the instructions, their goal, what their objective is, specify what tools they have access to, attach the brain, which is the AI model, to it, any knowledge base is needed, and it's able to run in an environment where it's able to actually work until it can achieve that goal. So that's how the agent SDK works. But for most people, typically you don't need to get that detailed and that in the weeds with code. So a great place to start can be, make.com, N8N, Zapier. These are no code building tools. So if your code kind of scares you a little bit and you don't want to touch a terminal or open up VS Code, you can always.
Yeah. Got a question for you, Sam. Somebody asked, how do you build these agents, or do you just ask AI to provide the instructions to build them?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So when in doubt, you can always just ask chat. So a great habit to do is, if you don't know how to actually build something, you could just ask the AI, hey, how can I build this? And depending on the AI you're using, one of the most capable ones is Claude, especially Claude Code. If you're utilizing one of the frontier models, a lot of time they're very capable. So you can just tell them, hey, build me an agent that does X, Y, and Z. And sometimes, depending on what access to what tools that frontier model has, or what tools you've given the frontier model, you can just have your agents make other agents. So that's one of the coolest things about AI is you put it to work, and then you can put it to work putting other agents to work as well. That is a little bit more advanced on it. You do, in order to properly get your agents building agents, you want to run them in a slightly different environment than just logging on to ChatGPT or logging on to Claude, the app. You're going to actually want to run Claude Code or Codex, which is ChatGPT's coding version. And you want to instruct those models to actually build the agents, because it is a little bit, you want them to be able to actually test them as well and run them. And Codex, Claude Code might sound a little bit intimidating, but it's actually very user friendly. It is a coding tool, but it's a natural language coding tool, so you can actually get pretty far even if you've never coded anything in your life. And when in doubt, since AI does tend to touch, the ultimate goal is to have AI managing your business for you. When it's touching real revenue or handling real processes, I do suggest, bringing in a professional, just because there can be some security concerns and security susceptibility with AI agents, since they're still new. So, if when in doubt, when unsure, when trying to, add agents to a process that might be a little bit more risky or need some guardrails, it can be a good idea to bring in a professional for that. I see Avant Garden said, I struggle with posting consistently. I do too. I completely understand that. It's don't we all? So 3 things to avoid when building agents. One, don't automate a broken process. If the process isn't good, you want to iterate and refine your process before you just move to try and automate it and give it directly to an agent. You can ask Claude, hey, how can we fix this process? And maybe it'll come up with some helpful solutions, or you can ask Chat and you can maybe iterate to improve it. But you want to make sure your system is dialed in, at least to the point where you're confident in the system before you start to move to automate it and pass it on to an agent. Another thing that is important, just because there are security concerns with AI, keep a human in the loop. Don't just let the AI, don't give the AI the keys to the kingdom and just say, hey, go do it. At least not on day one. You might want to have checks and balances where the AI might, go complete a task for you, complete a goal, brings you back the deliverable, but maybe it doesn't just post that piece of content directly. Maybe it brings that piece of content back to you, you approve it, and then you go to post it. So don't just move to automate everything from day one. You want to trust the AI a little bit more, let it do some things for you, see how it's actually producing the deliverables, and then make sure they're actually up to par before you let it handle things autonomously. And then the other thing is just, don't start too big. One of the great things you can do is start with a small task that is tedious, or maybe you spend 10 or more hours a week on, and just start by automating that. Document the process, give those steps off to the agent, and then just tell the agent, hey, go do this, and see how it performs. Yeah, and that's a great way to start. So what's repetitive, what's rule-based, what do you do a lot, and what's maybe costing you time or potentially revenue. Those are some things that are perfect to start with as far as creating your first agent. And just to kind of preface this a little bit more as well, AI is not magic. It's not necessarily a matter of the AI doing better work than humans, but what it can do is you can teach it your processes and your systems, and now it can handle the volume, or it can alleviate some of the work that's on your plate. So don't look at AI as a replacement for labor. I mean, I know that's kind of that's been the whole dystopian thing that culture's been pushing for so much, but it's really about working with the AI, working with agents to save you time, and just work in conjunction to increase your business and scale ultimately. And yeah, so that's basically the presentation, just an intro to AI agents and how you can use them for your business. Happy to answer some questions, and if you guys want to get in contact with me, you can reach out directly at sam@agilityautomations.com. You can reach my phone number, 470-575-9341. And I'm always happy to help with building agents or answering questions. And yeah, thank you.
So, I guess the biggest question that I have is, can the average person create an AI agent? That's what the big question is for a lot of people. They hear these agents are out there. You're saying you can use, Claude and things like that to actually build the agents, so what's the end? I mean, do they have to go to someone like yourself to build these agents, or can they build them themselves?
Yeah, so you can build them yourselves. There are a lot of platforms out here that you don't have to be technical in order to build agents. Some of those are, Make, which is an automation platform that recently implemented agents. You can put up steps. It's very visual, very user friendly. N8N is another platform as well if you want to build agents in a nice visual way, but not necessarily dive into the code. So yeah, so Make, N8N, these are Zapier. These are really good automation platforms for building. OpenAI also has something called an agent builder, which is another visual way of building agents as well. And when in doubt, one of the best ways is to just ask, Claude or Chat. So I go to Claude and be like, hey, Claude, can you spin up these agents? One important caveat for that is you do kind of want to set up a certain type of environment for them to be able to do that effectively. And that without getting, kind of too in the weeds with that, I would say play around with Claude Code first. And Claude Code is basically a coding agent. And what a coding agent unlocks is it unlocks a lot of things, actually. It unlocks the ability to write code for your business. You don't even have to write the code. The coding agent can handle it for you. So that's really good if you're not technical, is either ask the AI, hey, how can we build our first agent? That's usually where I like to start, or use one of the no code builder platforms if you're not as comfortable with coding.
Martha, until you said put your information in chat. So have you been working on building agents? You can unmute if you're not driving or anything. Martha? She's saying put her information in chat. Now, I think I'm going to start doing these, starting them at 9:30 versus 9 o'clock. But so you put your information in, that's your contact information, Sam. I'm going to do a quick survey here. See how people get.
Hey, Mr. Mark, this is Jamie. I have a question.
All right, go ahead.
What was those agent? I know you said Claude, but you said two more like Zap. What was or Made? What was those other two you named?
Yeah, so there's make.com, so that's make.com, That's my preferred one. That's the one I typically use is make.com. Pretty good automation platform. Zapier is they've been around a long time. That's standard automation platform, and they've just been kind of working in AI to what they offer. And the other one is N8N. So in number 8 in, they're a little bit more of an agent focused version of make.com. And they're pretty good for building agents as well. They're a little more tailored. Now, I will say there is a bit of a learning curve even with these platforms. It's just kind of getting used to using the platform, using the tools. But I would say personally I'd recommend make.com, and just start with something simple. Maybe it's something as simple as you have ChatGPT do some research, ChatGPT, and then you have that send that research to another agent, writes the copy. And if you go to make.com, you'll see what I mean. You're able to create like a visual flow of how the agent is going through the steps. So that's a great place to start. Or when in doubt, ask chat. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
For some reason, I can't bring up the poll survey. I created it and tested it. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. So I'll send everybody the survey via email. Any other questions for Sam? I mean, it's these agents are really, people are using them as additional employees now. You're talking about taking calls, scheduling appointments, and things like that. So I really want you guys to really start trying to look at using these agents, particularly the content agents that he was just talking about. A lot of us are worried about producing content, out of sight, out of mind. And I think that the content agents are the most important agents to me, for a lot of you that are worried about creating content. So Sam, I want to ask you this question. Is it that automatic where I can just tell it to create it, it'll create it and post it and do everything?
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, it's that automatic. So I like to, with content agents, because you want to do, post consistently. You want to have it in what's known as like it's called a runtime. I didn't want to get like too technical, with this first masterclass, but you want to have a content agent running in something called a runtime, which is basically an environment where it's always running. And let's say you want to, post content every single day. Content agent it can assemble the content and directly post it. I didn't show you guys the craziest or something. The content agents get crazy. So I showed you guys kind of like a blog post example, but I have it assembling videos for me as well. I have it assembling videos, posting videos to TikTok, creating the captions. There's some TikTok channels where I haven't touched for over a month, and it's just posting the videos, and they're doing pretty solid actually. It's equivalent to when I was posting at this point. So that's a great unlock is the content agents for sure.
Bill, you're just saying this thing, just putting out the content. You're not touching anything. It's just putting it out there.
Just putting it out.
And you're getting response from it.
Yeah. It's actually yeah. It's interesting. It's incredible, and it moves fast. So it's moving fast. So the capabilities will be even further along in the next couple months for sure.
Martha, you say you can't unmute. Let's see here. See if I can unmute you. I'm going to ask you to unmute and see if the button shows up. I don't know. It's Bastion unmute. Let's see if I can unmute you. No, I can't. I can't do anything, Martha. So, What about now? No, Martha. Okay.
Does she have a question?
Avant Garden. I see another question here. You can unmute and ask your question.
Okay, so my question is, I have significant issues with the visuals that AI generates. Is there a workaround for that?
What issues in particular?
So I'm in food service, so AI generated food looks horrible.
Mm.
And I try to override the AI generated pictures with my actual pictures, but sometimes it kind of does like a mashup of those two. Like it'll take what I send it and then still kind of do a AI generated version of that sometimes. And I'm trying to figure a workaround for that to where it's only using the pictures that I give it.
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways to go about improving the output. The first thing I would say is, so what model are you using? Are you using ChatGPT or what AI are you using to create the images?
Yeah, ChatGPT is what I'm using right now.
Okay, is that the paid plan? Are you on the paid plan?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question? I had a call coming in.
Is it the paid plan?
Yeah, so right now I'm on Plus.
Okay, so a couple different things. Sometimes with the models, you have to kind of, some of them are great and you can give them less than enough information to go do what they need to do, and then others you kind of have to, beat it with a stick, so to speak. What I would say with images is I'd be very specific. Here's some things that some phrases that I'll use when I'm speaking with AIs. One, I'll literally tell it, keep everything exactly the same, but do this. And yeah, sometimes that'll work. Sometimes you need to actually, in the corner of the chat with ChatGPT, there's a plus button. Sometimes you need to click the plus button and select create image, because I've had times when I'll tell even Claude or Chat to make an image or make a mock-up, and it doesn't actually make the image. It kind of just mashes a bunch of images together. Sometimes you have to directly tell it to create the image. So those are a few things that I do. You want to tell it, just tell it, keep everything exactly the same, and make sure it's creating the image. Another thing is, if you're working too much in a thread, so let's say you tell the AI to make an image and it makes the image incorrectly. It's actually better to, if it's close, you can tweak that image a little bit and tell it to make this change, make this change. But if it's very far off and it's just completely wrong what it created, it's actually better to start a new thread, start a new chat thread, and then start from there with maybe slightly different instructions. Because what will happen is, when you get into a thread and you have the AI making images, sometimes it'll reference the previously made images, and it's, just kind of running in circles, not really making progress, and it's just building off of what was already wrong, if that makes sense. And just one other thing to add to that, the two things in order to really improve the output is the prompt and the model that you're using. So ChatGPT is actually really good with image creation. I think if you're using GPT Image 2, which tends to be the default when the Plus plans are creating images, it can be really good. And another good one is Google Gemini Nano Banana 2. That's another really popular one. So those would be the two that I would work on, and maybe just adjust the prompt a little bit. Yeah, I think that can help.
Thank you so much. Yeah, the prompting is, I'm learning that you have to be very specific. So it's gotten better It's just
Okay.
there's some nuances with that, with those AI generated food images that really get under my skin.
Yeah, the food's difficult. Faces are difficult too. It's become it's gotten a lot better with faces and headshots. I remember when it first started, I tried to get it to make a professional headshot of me, and it was atrocious. It's not very good with eyes either. Messes up on that, but it's to the point where there's some small nuances in there. But if you know how to work with those nuances, I think you can. I think you'll be able to get something nice. I see Charles mentioned DALL-E, GPT image generator. Yeah, DALL-E's a really good one. That's I think the original ChatGPT image generation model. I would suggest GPT Image 2. That is OpenAI's a little bit newer model. They had GPT Image 2 and GPT Image 1.5. And when they got to 1.5 is when I really saw a big step change in how it was able to actually create images. For videos, and unfortunately, I'm not sure if it's really accessible. And videos, if images are a little difficult, videos are going to be even more nuanced. I like Sora 2 for videos. That's OpenAI's video model. Unfortunately, I think they're getting rid of it, which I think is a terrible idea. But I think you should still have access to it. It should still be accessible until September, and they're one of the better ones. Google also has a video model. From what I hear, the best one is Seed Dance, which is by TikTok. But yeah, sorry, getting a little technical now, but different models for different stuff.
Any more questions? We are considering doing a in-person class where you guys can come actually build these agents in person. So I'll let you know when we schedule that, because I think that you're gonna have to really learn how to do this correctly if you want to add it to your business, so it can really help you. So any other questions before I let everybody go for this morning? Let's see, I'm looking here. I don't see anything that we haven't let's see. In person would be great. Yeah, I think so. So I was talking to Sam about, we're going to set something up down at the league where you guys can come down and do it in person. So I'll be setting that up because I think it's very important. I've been playing around with this myself, and having somebody there to actually show you how to do things, I think will be good. And I think Sam will come down to help us.
Sure.
So with that said, I'm sorry I couldn't send the evaluation survey. I created it. It was supposed to be there, but I'll send you guys all a email asking for the evaluation of this session, because we really need your help. Have a lot of information, but have to do it. Yeah. So yeah, this was good. Sam, thanks for coming out this morning, and hopefully we can get back and do an in-person event, which I think will be much more impactful. So if there are no more questions, it's a lot of information, I know. But if there are no more questions, I will let Sam go, and I'll let you guys go and enjoy your day. I think in the future, I'm going to start scheduling these for 9:30 in the morning to start, because it seems like a lot of people start showing up around that time. So, Sam, I want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And taking some time to work with us. And I made sure your information was out there so everybody can reach out to you if they need assistance with this. And he did suggest that some of you, it may be easier for you to contact him and say, help me build these things. So let's do that. But I think you really need to look into building them. Martha, you finally came on.
Oh, and see, I didn't know it. Thank you. At the end.
That's it. Right. But I saw. Have you been building your own agents? I saw you put something in there about.
No, I haven't, but it
Okay.
sounds easier than what I was trying to do.
Yeah, I think if you're using the right tools, I've been using Claude lately to try to help me build some agents, and it seems to be doing pretty good with it. So,
Claude's a good one.
yeah, I've been using Claude. So,
Thank you.
all right, well, everyone, have a good day, and we'll see you next week. And next week, we're going to be talking about using blogs and email to stay in front of your customers. And with the thing that Sam's talking about, you can use AI agents to create your blogs and send out your emails. So hopefully we'll learn more about how impactful that is. So thank you everyone for joining us. And we will be back with you next Wednesday morning. Talk to you later.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for coming. Thank you, Mark.